Hi everyone, welcome to the latest Mount Vernon vlog. My name is Ethan and I am the digital storyteller here at George Washington's Mount Vernon. Recently, the mansion was closed for 2 weeks as our architecture, archaeology, and collections team took time to assess the mansion and make any necessary renovations without any interruptions. However, our architecture team had one very big task. They had to repaint the entire central passage. Now, why did they do that? Well, they repainted the central passage to the original color that the Washingtons had it back in 1799. If you'd like to learn more about that process and the research, you can click the link below in the description where I talk about that process with the Director of Architecture here at Mount Vernon. The following video is a summary of all the hard work that went into the mansion for those 2 weeks, and also I capture the dramatic change of color in the central passage. Now, I'm going to stop talking and I'm just going to show you guys the footage. The architecture team began bright and early on the first day. They started by preparing the central passage and the visitor's path for painting. The central passage then received a deep cleaning, where the team scrubbed off dirt from the wood that accumulated from over 1 million guests visiting the past year. In the basement, the archaeology team was hard at work excavating 3 sites. They were looking for evidence of the early configuration of the floor and foundation walls in the cellar. These bricks were removed for the excavation and numbered so they were put back in the correct order. The architecture team arrived on the second day at 6 a.m. to create a homemade whitewash from a 19th century recipe.
Basically, we're going to be mixing lime, water, potassium hydroxide, salt, molasses.
Why are you making your own instead of just buying whitewash from the store?
So what's commercially available is not as pure as we would like to go. The recipe that we use is a very early 19th century recipe that we've used before in the state and has had a lot of success,
That's
especially
awesome.
with testing in the lab and on the estate.
And does the molasses not attract bugs?
No, the potassium hydroxide counteracts that, which is really interesting. We're adding one ingredient specifically just to counteract another ingredient. But the molasses is necessary because it really increases the adhesion factor of the whitewash.
After the whitewash dried, the painting began. The team spent 1 day applying a primer, and the day after, they applied the main coat of paint. The entire central passage was repainted with a cream color discovered through a paint analysis, with the paint specially donated by Fine Paints of Europe.
Taking out a layer that's related to an early 20th century paving episode, and so I'm screening that material right now. Found just a few pieces of glass here and there, but I mean, we're finding more stuff every day, so come back and check on us again.
The mansion shutdown also provided the collections team time to evaluate the condition of pieces in the house. Finally into the homestretch, the famous handrail touched by George Washington and millions of Americans was cleaned and received a new coat of a light, stable, museum-grade varnish. Wow, so you're all done. Well, congratulations.
Thanks.
And it took you 2 weeks, right?
2 weeks, yes.
Well, I think it looks phenomenal and it looks amazing back to its original $17.99 color, and I think people are really going to enjoy it.
The project went really well, surprisingly smooth. We had a lot of great help from a few outside people, and the preservation team stepped up in general.
One question that I've heard some people here ask is, why is the new paint kind of shiny on the walls here?
Yeah, that's a good question. So the paint itself is only about a week old, and this is how a high gloss finish would have looked when it was freshly applied in the 18th century. This particular paint we have used is a high gloss, so it's going to have a high sheen, higher than what most people are used to, especially in an interior space.
That was an exhaustive 2 weeks, and all I did was hold a camera and film those guys. Everyone was a little nervous before applying the paint in the central passage, but we couldn't be happier with the result. It looks amazing. The central passage definitely has a new vibe and aura to it, and we hope that you come check it out soon. Now that painting in the central passage is complete, it's on to Phase 2. Phase 2 consists of restoring the windows, applying wallpaper in the stairwell, and treating warped panels. I'll definitely be filming all of that, so stay tuned. Finally, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, you can click on the subscribe button, and after you've clicked on that button, next to it there's a little bell. If you click on the bell, you will receive a notification every time we upload a new video. So if you could do that, that would be awesome. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.